Good morning. It's a great day. Decided to keep my Keep It Simple Life is Good shirt on for my run today. And I hope you can keep your life simple, keep it joyful, keep it focused on Jesus, and I think all the other things will start to minimize in your world. So uh, check out Galatians 5 this weekend. Maybe read it 5 times. How's that? I don't want to give you too much homework, but Galatians 5, you hang out there and think about that. Think about the binary life that we can live. We can live by these fleshly habits that are stored in our brain up here. That's our ability to try to get our way done through our efforts and our own strength. And Paul's saying, hey, God's given you a better way. There's a much better way. And so he draws a line in the sand and he describes in this book what fleshly, selfish ambition efforts look like and what kind of motivators you have on the inside versus spiritually driven things. And so you can do some really good things that are fleshly driven. Usually you can figure out if they were fleshly driven if they don't go the way you want them to go, what your response was. If you feel like anxiety and frustration because it wasn't doing what you wanted, my guess was it was motivated by fleshly activities. So it's all good. You just say, hey, Lord, let me just listen to your spirit and do what he's got going on in my life today. So Galatians 5, 13, he says, this is really cool, for you were called to freedom. This whole chapter is about the freedom you have in Christ and that freedom to live the more abundant life. And he said, you are called to freedom. Brethren, only don't let your freedom cause somebody else to stumble, is what 13 says. And he says, but through love, serve one another. Through love, serve one another. You know, if all of our friendships are this triangle, and when we're younger, it's down here by my thumbs. As we get older, it's near the tips of my index fingers. Our circle of friendships is getting smaller as we go up that triangle, and anything we can do to not offend that group will make our life more fulfilled and less lonely. The more we alienate those people, the more lonely our life will be. And the greatest way not to alienate them is to get to know what their pains are and serve them in those pains. And you never know till you talk to them about things beyond just worldly stuff. So, but serve one another. And he says this, for the whole law is fulfilled in one word, in the statement, love your neighbor as yourself. And we talked about yesterday loving yourself, because if you can't love yourself, guess what? Guess how you're going to treat your neighbor. If you don't love yourself very well, you're going to probably be pretty crappy at loving your neighbor. And so that whole thing is going to be dysfunctional. So learn how much, love God, learn how much he loves you, love others as you've learned to love yourself, and the world will be changed. It'll be changed one person at a time. And then he goes on and he says, I think I said this the other day, that if you look that up in the Bible, at least 8 times God's messengers say, love your neighbor as yourself. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, soul, and then love your neighbor as yourself. So repetition's his way of trying to smack you in the head with an idea. And then he says, but if you bite and devour one another, take care that you are not consumed by one another. It's pretty funny, kind of little riddle there. If you bite and devour verbally, you'll end up consuming each other, like eating each other, which is kind of cannibalistic, which is not really entertaining to me, but whatever. 16, he says, but I say to you, walk by the Spirit, and you will not carry out the desire of the flesh. It's kind of binary, one way or the other. It's a light switch, on or off. You can't do both. You can't walk by the flesh and the Spirit at the same time. So if you find yourself angry and frustrated and alienated, you're probably walking by the flesh. And you don't need me to tell you that. You know, I know. And so when you're walking by the Spirit, you probably have a smile on your face. You're probably enjoying the moment. And that can change in a moment. It could change when somebody cuts you off in traffic. You could go from just singing joyous noises to the Lord to singing abusive noises to the driver next to you. So all we got to do is reset our minds to the things above and trust that Christ is our life, and he's the one living in and through us to express himself to those all around us. Hey, you guys have a great day today. I'll catch you soon.